was two transactions, as this example. Two transactions cannot change any record or data at the same time, and it will be an error. Actually, there is a lock manager, transaction manager in the database management systems that can handle this. All this I'm telling you is because in the security management, we should consider all of these problems when we are um, considering security issues, authentications, and other options here. We should consider uh, these issues too. If you want, you can have a screenshot. I want to go to the continue slides. In previous, and this is the previous example. It's not important. And this one is the example for previous session, previous week. These examples were for these two issues. And then change logs. A change log lists every change made to the database. It contains both original and modified values. Using this log, the database administrator can undo any changes that were made in error. I had the example in previous session for the logs. It's the history of any change in the database. And it goes directly to the hard disk. It's not in the RAM, it's not in the main memory, it's in the hard disk. So it will not erase. And in the case of power failure, for example, or any other errors when the server shuts down, when it restarts again, we have all the changes in the database, and we can undo all the changes and bring the database back to the normal condition. The other thing is audibility. For some applications, it may be desirable to generate an audit record of all access, read or write to a database to discover after the fact who has affected what values and when. It's different from the log. The log is temporarily. Here in the log, we say it's just for error recovery. A log file, I can write it here. Log is for error recovery. It means when you have an error, a failure of the system, we use log to recover it from that failure, to bring back database to the normal condition. And when all the transactions are completed successfully, the log file can be deleted. So it's not keep for forever. It's just when a transaction starts, it will be written in the log file. All the changes that the transaction made will be written in the log. So in any case that a failure occur an error or a failure, and the server, for example, restarts, and we check the log again, and we'll undo all the changes and bring back the system to the normal condition. And after the transactions are committed or finished successfully, we don't need the log anymore, and it can be deleted or make it empty for another transaction when it comes. But here we have another thing, another file. It's log the log, but it includes the information about who accessed the database, what changes he or she made in database, and other issues here. So if you go to the bank, and you say, I don't know who take $200 from my account, I want my money. They can go and check this history, this file, and they know who had logged in the system, who take money from your account, and they know all the things. Even in the university, we have such things. When I actually update your results in the exam, and any changes I made to your result, it will be registered in the file. So you can come and you say, my result was 20, but my instructor, my teacher has changed my result from 20 to 12. And they can check this, and they can check what's the problem. So we call this audit record. Audit record includes can include many information, but the main one is who has affected. We have 3 here: who, what, when. When you check this file, we know what time, who has changed what values in the database. It's another thing that can help us to have a secure database. To be useful for maintaining integrity, database audit trail should include access at record, field, and even elements level. This detail is prohibitive for most database applications. So it can help us, this information can help us to maintain the integrity, correctness of database. Integrity sometimes means correctness. When you are trying to have a correct database, you refer to so it must have as much as possible details that it can. Many details. Access to level of records, fields, elements. If someone has just changed or updated one small element, it must be written in. One moment. Hmm.